James Poovey here, coming to you on the Epic Sports Network. I'm pleased to be joined by the Carter brothers, co-head coaches of the Desert Edge Scorpions out in Goodyear. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules. I know it's the night before the game, and you guys are getting ready to go. Just talk to us a little bit about your football team. I want to get both your perspectives here. Just give us a little bit of perspective about how the seasons went. Obviously, you're having a ton of success, but now, as you guys well know, you can kind of throw the records out when it comes to the playoffs, and everyone's kind of 0-0 when the playoff season starts.
Yes, sir. This season has been great. What a lot of people don't understand and don't know is that, this is Mark and I's first, real class. So this 24 class is the class that Mark and I came in with. And so to see the maturation of our players, our coaching staff, or just our team in general has been really, really, really fun and exciting. And an exciting time for Goodyear, and especially the Desert Edge community. And so, our team this year, if I had a motto, I think somebody asked me if I had a motto for our team this year it would be consistently consistent. We pride ourselves on being consistent on the little things, the fundamentals, the tackling, the catching, being precise and being deliberate on everything that we do. So, it's been great defensively. We've been really, really doing really, really well. Obviously, it helps when you have, three guys going to Kansas, and then all over, at each level of the field, Deshawn, DJ, and then you got John at linebacker. Then you have Dre at corner. It makes our job a lot. It makes our job a lot easier. We have Jamar on the other corner, and stuff
We
like
got
that.
Jalen in the middle.
Jalen Dawson in the middle. So we got a lot of really good, strong players on the defensive side of the ball. Sean Alator is a D1 guy. So, we've hung our hats on defense this year. Offense is getting hot at the right time. And so, just being consistent and just being deliberate in everything that we do is something that we really prided ourselves on this season.
From my perspective, we call us a football family, and with the coaches that we have and the players that we have, you know, it's just a family atmosphere. We love coming to work every day. We love hanging around with the guys every day. Our team, we're kind of, I guess, out there as far as, Desert Edge is one of the schools that's highly promoted. We do our best to try to promote our players in our program. So we're out in the open, we're out for, thanks, we're out for criticism, we're out there. And, our biggest thing is, we're not getting paid enough as coaches and the kids aren't for sure getting paid. So we just want to have as much fun as we can. And in the process, get as many schools, get many kids to fulfill their dreams as far as playing at the next level. Our job as coaches is to, build these young men into men. And, of course, we want to win football games at the same time, building young quality young men. The football is going to take care of itself. We just want to give our boys an opportunity to, some may break generational curses, some may, do some things that they probably never thought of. And so that's, our goal at Desert Edge is to get the best out of our players, no matter what they are. From an offensive standpoint, most of our transfers this season were on the offensive side of the ball. And so, I still think we're averaging around 35 points a game. We had some really good numbers, going in. I think, we lost to Centennial first game of the season. And then we went on a 8-game winning streak, and then we dropped the one against Cactus. And, a lot of people are expecting a lot of, things from Desert Edge because of the quality of players that we have. The recent offensive explosion is just due to health. We've finally been healthy. For the first 5 weeks, you had Kez, and Kez was getting double teamed, and then Kez had some little thing going on with his hand, and so he sat the next 4 games when Jaquay was ready. So then when Jaquay was ready, they were doubling Jaquay, and so now you have them both. Then you add in Markai, and then we have Johnny Arvayo, who's been a mainstay. He's played some receiver for us. He's played some tight end for us, and then newly found tight end we have named Michael Halloran, who stepped up huge. He's a sophomore that stepped up, and so offensively we're starting to hit our stride. And like Marcus said, we're doing it at the right time.
Visiting here with the Carter brothers, the co-head coaches of the Desert Ed Scorpions. Been following you guys' journey ever since you were at South Mountain over there with the Jaguars. You really turned that football program in the right direction, and now you just continue to do the same thing over there in Goodyear with the Desert Ed Scorpions. Obviously, you have some really good players at your disposal as well. Talk first about your quarterback, Hezekiah Millander, and what he means to your offense.
Buda's a dual threat quarterback. This year he's used his legs a lot more this year. So his passing numbers went down a little bit. And then, he's a phenomenal young man. He's been our guy since he was a sophomore. We believe he's one of the top quarterbacks in the state. He's gotten on a roll here as of late. The last two games, somewhere around 600 yards and 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's completing like 75 to 80% or something crazy like that these last couple games. And even in our loss against Cactus, he still had about 300 to 400 yards of total offense. So he's starting to mature. He's learning offense more. As he learns more, we keep giving him more. And as he gets more comfortable, he's just becoming more of a threat. And we wouldn't want anybody else.
Talk about on the defensive side of the football, you got a stud over there as well, Deshawn Warner, heading off to play for the University of Kansas and the Jayhawks. Talk about his defensive prowess on that side of the football.
Man, I could really talk about DJ for days. He's just a phenomenal young man. Everything DJ is received in his life, as far as accolades and things like that, has been just truly earned. He's been our mainstay on defense since he was a sophomore, kind of like Buddha. He's our emotional leader. He charges us up. He's a one man wrecking crew when it comes to applying pressure and getting after the quarterback. And then, he just does it all. He intercepts the ball. He runs back. He picks up balls, pick sixes, and big time moments. I just checked the other day. He has 14 sacks, some crazy tackles for losses, and just tackles. And we put him on offense. He catches up and goes up and catches jump balls for touchdowns. We put him at tight end. He's just a phenomenal player. And we are extremely, extremely blessed and fortunate to have such a player of his quality at our school. And that we've developed. DJ came into our program as a freshman, as a wide receiver. We talked to DJ. Gave him an option to say, "Hey, DJ, your first 20 yards is the best in the business." But then you kind of slow down after that. If you put your hand on the ground and rush the passer, I think you'll have an opportunity to play at the next level. DJ wasn't too happy about that because the world we live in often sells tickets, and so he wanted to be that guy. And catching touchdowns. And he trusted us. His parents trusted us. He came back the next year. He was hungry. His sophomore year, he had something like 10 sacks. A lot of colleges were all over him and stuff like that. Said he was a little thin. And when you give DJ, set a goal for DJ, he generally achieves it. And the offseason for him was to get a little bigger, get a little solid. And DJ added 20 pounds of muscle and came back looking like a freak. And so now, he's got colleges all over, Michigan and Ohio State as of late that get offers. But, he's found a great home at Kansas, and Kansas does a great job of recruiting our school and recruiting Arizona. And, it's a great program. And Coach Leipold and Coach Peterson is doing a great job of building that program. And, DJ's going to, wherever DJ goes, he's going to be great. And I can't wait till when DJ – it's all said and done, I get an opportunity to tell a story.
It's great to see this Arizona high school football pipeline generating a lot of connections between some of these Midwest schools, and a lot of that is thanks to you gentlemen who do the work with these young men every single day and do it the right way and teach them the fundamentals of the game, which will stick with them well beyond their football years. You guys got a real important transfer in Amari McKinnon, who has come in and made an immediate impact in your offense. Over, I believe it's 118 yards a game and only 6 games played with you guys. What did you guys learn as coaches watching this young man come to practice every single day, knowing that he was going to have to sit out for half the season and then wait his turn and then know when he came in, you were going to get his full effort?
And it's crazy. So we got to see why Markai is such an elite running back. before I even talk about the football portion, let me talk about Markai as an individual. Markai, through those first 5 games, was the biggest cheerleader on the sideline. He's cheering for guys, he's pumping guys up. It was kind of our sideline was kind of dead. The one game he missed, he had to go to a wedding. He was in a wedding, he had to go to a wedding, and so he was out of town, and our sideline was kind of dead. He's just a great young man, and he just brings a lot of energy, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder, but not so much to where he's angry or anything. He just knows that he has a lot to prove, and he wants to prove a lot of people right. Some people try to prove people wrong and they go about it negatively, but Markai is different, and on the field, man, he's a man child, man. He can break away. He can break away for a touchdown. He's going to run you over. And one of the best things that we've learned about Markai since he's been with us is his ability to protect the passer. His pass blocking has just been phenomenal. It's like almost having an extra lineman back there because he steps up. He's able to read, where guys are coming from. Just the little things like that. And he asks me a question all the time, "Hey, coach, I see if I think this guy is blitzing, I know I'm in the route. But if I think this guy's blitzing, can I stay and help?" Things like that. And just to show us what kind of mature young man he is. And, the crazy thing is, and Marcus probably talk about this a little more because he was on that side of the ball, he played scout for the first 5 games. And so our defense got to play against a Division I quarterback for the first
Right,
5 games to get ready for opponents. You know what I mean? And so, we're so blessed to have Markai. He's a great young man. Like I said, his legacy is going to live on for the Desert Edge, even though it's only been 6 or 7 games.
Nah, he was a great scout team guy for us. He energized us. Man, he made things really difficult for us and got us ready and prepared for the next game. And I'm extremely in debt with Markai because he could have just been a prima donna and just been like, oh, I'm gonna go half speed and stuff like that. But he made it a point to try to make us better. And so I'll always be in his debt for that. And it kind of shows what our defense. We haven't even given up, and I think we played 11 games. We haven't given up 1,000 yards rushing in 11 games. And so, that's part and due to us obviously focus on the run and having really good players, but getting that preparation and for the first 5 games and setting the tone for region, and for these playoffs to know that, we had a D1 back at practice every single day, giving it his all. And so, we're not going to see many of those, throughout the season.
The Carter brothers doing things right over in Goodyear for the Desert Edge Scorpions. Another thing I love about you guys is you teach the football players how to be a complete player at their position. Like we were talking about Markai a few minutes ago, not only able to be a good running back, but be able to stay in and pass protect when necessary. Things that coaches at the next level look for in a player when they go and they're recruiting a guy and say, hey, what can this guy do? Oh, he can play a little special teams. Oh, he can pass block really well too. Well, he's going to be a little bit higher up on the charts right there, right on the recruiting list. So really good stuff that you guys are doing. We're excited for the game tomorrow night against the Notre Dame Prep Saints. What do you guys know about the Saints, and what kind of challenges do they pose to your football club?
Man, Notre Dame, we obviously played them the second game of the season. I would say we're a much different football team than when we were game 2. But one thing I will say about Notre Dame Prep is they are well coached and their players play hard. They have some really good players on offense. Number 3, Noah. I don't want to mess up his last name, so I'm gonna say Noah T. Number 3. He is an outstanding quarterback. He's probably the best quarterback we faced all season. He does it all with his legs. He knows how to improvise. He makes tough throws. He's special outside the pocket. And obviously, you got Cooper Perry, who's a dog. He the last time we played him, he had 3 touchdowns against us. We held him held him in check, but we kind of contained him. He had three catches for 40 yards, but all 3 of those catches were touchdowns. So he does a really great job of making Noah look good as well. And then number 20, I can't remember his name. He's a really good dual threat running back. He has 600 yards rushing and he has about 500 yards receiving. So he can do it from the running back position, and he can do it as outside as a receiver. And so they posed a lot of challenges for us. defensively, because they are well coached. They have really good concepts. They have guys that play hard, and they have playmakers in the right position. So, like you said, when it comes to the playoffs, it's 0-0, and we know that it's hard to beat a team 2 games to 0. I mean, 2 games in a row or back to back, and so we're up for but our guys are up for the challenge. And so, I expect a really, really good, football game, especially from them offensively, but I also expect us to have a really good game defensively.
From a defensive standpoint, those jokers, they play hard. They play hard. They come off the ball hard. As a person that coordinates an offense, you look at those little things as far as what kind of pressure do they get. How do they play, and you turn on the tape, and those dudes are just firing off every single play over and over and over and over and over. And no matter the score, they just keep going and going and going. They have a really, really, really awesome middle linebacker named Deacon Shea. This dude, why he's not getting more looks from the colleges, I don't know. But, if you think of a middle linebacker, he exemplifies the position. And, he's a really good young man. Like, Marcus and I tend to, after games, talk to kids and, just kind of let them know how we felt about how they played, not in a negative way, but just kind of let them know, like, hey, man, you're a dog. And, him and Cooper and all those stars that they have, those are some really humble people. We sit, we talk, we chop it up because, it's just a game. But, their secondary as well. Their secondary have they really opportunistic defense. So we have to do our best to, take care of the ball and execute. That's just been our big thing this season, is just execute and take care of the ball.
Final question for you guys here before we let you go. What can people expect out of the Desert Edge football game? I noticed that you guys are pretty highly ranked as far as atmosphere goes on a Friday night, and now especially it's going to be turned up a couple notches for the playoffs. I can only imagine. We're excited to be out there tomorrow night. Just give people that have never been out there a brief synopsis of what they can expect for some Scorpions live football at the home games.
Man, you can expect a lot of excitement. You can expect a lot of people, especially from Notre Dame Prep, because they travel pretty well. It's going to be a fun, classy atmosphere. We have, some of the classiest parents that we can find. I mean, that we have in our program, and our stands are fun. Our food is great. Our concession stands on both sides are really, really great. So just come out there, be prepared to have fun, be prepared for some hard hitting, guys in all black tomorrow. And so we're going to be out there to, try to get one step closer to our goal. And so, we're always going to play hard. We're always going to play classy. But we're always going to give it our best. So, that's what you can expect.
Goodyear is a great atmosphere. You're going to hear a lot of cowbells. It's our job to make sure the band is able to play the fight song as much as humanly possible. You're going to see, our student section, they're going to be playing music and, being hyped all game. It's a really good atmosphere. Our student government does a really good job of promoting the games, and, you guys do a good job. You guys have been promoting the heck out of this game. So we've been doing the same. So it's going to be a nice, fun atmosphere, and we're excited. I mean, this is every game after game 10 is a blessing, and you just got to cherish the moment, live in the moment, and make it do what it do on Friday night. And we're definitely excited and up to the task.
Coach Mark and Marcus Carter joining us here on the Epic Sports Network. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow evening on the field before the game. We'll be on the air at 6:45 p.m. on the NFHS Network for the pregame show, and kickoff is set for 7 p.m. between the Desert Edge Scorpions and the Notre Dame Prep Saints. Thank you guys again. We'll see you tomorrow night, and have a great evening.
Thanks, James. I appreciate you, man. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.